everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited. I have my friend Phil here, and we just decided to do a video to share with you what he's doing. It's so exciting. He has a deep passion in helping with victim in the sex trafficking, and I'm just going to let him to tell you all about it because I'm so excited to learn about it. And the way I'm seeing it, it's all about sharing. It's about, letting the community know what you're doing. And then, the next thing you know is there's people in the community can basically just help each other and just spread the words. So Phil, can you tell us a little bit about your background and, what inspired you to start this project?
Yeah, I'd love to. I just want to say thank you for just giving me the opportunity. May and I became friends through the John Maxwell team. We're both members of the John Maxwell team and coaches and speakers and trainers. And I met May in an accountability group, and I was able to share kind of my journey and my story with her. And she just wanted to help me reach out and to everyone that's out there that's going to hear this. So my journey, it's been really a journey in progress, but about 3 years ago, I took a trip over to Nepal, and I was able to witness human trafficking firsthand. And I spent a day at the border of Nepal and India, and on that trip, I was able to witness two girls being rescued from being trafficked from Nepal into India. One was 13 and one was 16, and these two young girls were about 500 yards away from the other side of the India border from never being seen again. And it just ripped my heart wide open. And it really exposed me to what the evilness of human trafficking is. And I just got a really strong calling at that point that I needed to come back here to the Detroit area where I live in the United States. And I just needed to engage in that fight for human trafficking.
How did you get into that situation? Can you tell us a little bit, like, why were you there at the moment?
I went over to Nepal on a mission trip with my local church, Kensington Church here. It's where we go.
Okay.
And I was able to meet an amazing man, Ramesh, who has a ministry group in Nepal that rescues girls at the border. And so I was able to go there with him with a group of 12 other men. And he's the one that brought us down to the border station so we could actually see how the process works and how trafficking works, and learn about the deception and the accusations and the luring tactics that traffickers use for young women, young boys, and people into the world of sex trafficking. And so that's why I went over to Nepal.
That's interesting.
Really, to be exposed to that. And to be honest, human trafficking had never been on my radar up until that point. I had never heard anybody talk about it. I never knew about it. You see it every now and then and on the second or third page of the newspaper, but nothing was ever headline news about it. But I learned about it in a really raw way, and just only the way that God could experience and show it to me. And it really allowed me to take a close look at what I am doing in my own life. And am I making a difference?
Yeah, actually, I have recently learned about it too. Like, I think we are living in such a privileged world that we are not, these things are not in our radar. And I was surprised to find out how common it is. Actually, there's a lot of sex trafficking victims, even in Canada. In Canada, you're in the US, it's more common than it is. They're all around us.
Yeah, it occurs right in our own backyard. But a lot of times it becomes a shame issue where as parents, maybe a daughter or a son has been a victim of trafficking, and we really don't want to talk about it, or people don't really want to talk about it because there's a shame factor, and that's not the case at all. Like these people that have been trafficked, they're children of God. They have a purpose. They're gifts.
Victim of the society.
They're victims.
These are social issues.
Yeah, they're someone's daughter. They're someone's mother. They're someone's child.
They just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time sometimes, right? And
absolutely.
So what kind of plan do you have in place in helping out these victims?
Well, so earlier, about 6 months ago, I really felt a calling on my heart that I was to start my own ministry. And that ministry would pull me out of my corporate job. I've been in the restaurant business for 33 years and working in corporate America. And this calling would pull me out of that. And I really felt a calling on my heart to start up a ministry called Miriam's Miracle that would help people that are victims of being trafficked, to help discover their purpose, help discover their identity and their gifting, and to help get their voice back so they can go out and change the world and just bring bring their voice to the front that's been quieted for way too long.
You have no idea how many lives you're changing. You're changing the lives of the victims. You're changing the lives of the families of these people. And then when they're able to stand up on their own feet and be a contributing member of the society, they can in turn go and, help other people. This is just amazing. I'm just so glad that you have such a passion. And so how can people help, and exactly what you're doing?
Well, there's a few ways that people can help and really get engaged into this fight with me. The first one is just become aware. Just do some research on it and just look into it, and it's all over once you just start looking into it. But it's a demand issue. As long as the demand is there, being a male, I realized that through my adult life, I've been a contributor in an indirect way. And, so many just common things that men do in society, we're contributing to the demand for the sex trafficking industry. So I think that's where it really starts is realizing it's a demand issue. And as men, as we can start realizing that we might be a part of the problem, we can start addressing the demand issue. And once we start addressing the demand issue, the supply issue starts diminishing. And really that's really kind of the awareness piece. So I encourage everybody to go out there and just type in Google human trafficking, and you'll get more than you want to see about. As far as what I'm doing, I established a nonprofit. It's called Miriam's Miracle. And you can find my website at Miriam's, MIRIAMS miracle.com. And it'll tell a bit about my story. And my calling is, as I said, I'm a faith and purpose coach through the John Maxwell team. And I am what I like to do is go out and help people discover their God-given purpose, discover their gifting, and discover their identity so they can go out and live their life through their faith and go out and change the world. I do that through a couple different programs. One of those is through Change Your World, John Maxwell's latest book. And it really allows people to take a deep dive into themselves and see what do they need to do and take a personal inventory for themselves so they can really go out and make a difference and be a true difference maker in the world. If you want to help on my mission and if you want to help my ministry, I offer all these services at no charge for all of these victims. Everything that I do is 100% donation based. And if you go to that website that I just mentioned, and if you feel it's on your heart, you can feel free to make any donation that you would like, whatever you feel comfortable with. For each victim that I help, it's about $1,500. To help each victim to really discover what their identity is and what their purpose is.
This is amazing. So thank you so much for sharing this heartfelt mission that you're doing. And if this video resonates with you, please share it. You never know if you have any contact of anyone that who will want to be part of the mission, and either through donation or just really sharing the message and making a better world for everybody. Because if you think about it, if we all work together, it's a better community for ourselves, for our children, and everybody benefit. Because it's one world. We're all in this together. Thank you so much for your time, Phil.
Yeah, thank you, May. And I just want to say, you just touched on something there that I just want to share with as well. I encourage people to go out onto the website or go out on Google and just discover, kind of what trafficking is. But I also encourage you to go out there and just type in what are some of the warning signs of someone who might be a victim of trafficking. Because if you see someone who is normally an outgoing person, and all of a sudden they've become very reclusive, very inward, very to themselves, and their demeanor changes, that could be a red flag. There's a lot of red flags that are going on out there that we just need to be aware of our children and people that are close to us, of their behavioral differences.
That's a great point.
And what I'm doing is on the restorative end. So after they've been rescued and they've gone through the counseling and they've gone through all the different channels to help heal some of this trauma they've been through, that's where I like to work. That's where I work with them. But it all starts on the front lines with helping, these individuals be rescued, and they aren't able to break free from themselves.
And I think the word awareness is important, right? Just being aware of the people around you, right? And you can feel it. It's an intuition. If someone is off, right? And be able to lend your support and just to care.
Yeah.
Right? And just be there and just reach out. And these days it's really hard. This mental health is, problems are shooting up the roof, and then people.
And human trafficking right now is at an all-time high with being locked down, everything being virtual, computers being so, like, computers in our phones, like these right here. This is our way of life during these lockdowns. But that's the gateway for a lot of these traffickers to get into people.
Exactly.
So we just have to be aware of those things. May, it's been an honor to be here, and I appreciate what you're doing and help people, getting out there and just letting their stories be told. You have an amazing story as well, and if you haven't seen any of her paintings, May is an amazing artist.
Oh my God!
She's a very humble artist, but her paintings are amazing.
Thank you. Anyway, I want to put down your site, and please feel free to find out more and contact Phil directly. And that's it. And you guys have a nice afternoon. And I hope to do more of these interviews. Just to, I have really cool friends who are just have big vision to change the world, and let's just do it together. Okay, thank you very much for your time today, Phil.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.